Well, good morning everyone. Welcome to Newfoundland, Canada's most easterly province, the very first province to see the sun come up over Canada, over North America for that fact. I'm at the Butterpot campground, which is just outside of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Spent the night here last night. Didn't get in here till about 9 o'clock. It was just getting dark, so I just had enough time to get the tent set up and everything ready in order to get the fire going. The guys delivered some firewood to me. And then I was sort of to bed around 11:30 midnight, watched the stars, drank a little rye. A little bit cold last night. I think it was about 7 or 8 degrees. The sleeping bag just isn't quite enough, so I had all the clothes on, or at least stuff on to keep warm. And then it was okay. Once I got some things on inside the sleeping bag, I managed to stay warm. Today's plan is to take off and drive around the Avalon Peninsula, have a look at what is along the coastline, maybe get over to Cape St. Mary's, which is a big bird rookery. Hope to get down there and check that out later on today. Just picked up the bike. It all seems to be good. Tent is set up. I'm going to leave it here for one more day because I'll be spending tonight here as well. So time to hit the road and go see what Newfoundland's all about.
Well, old Lukey's boat is painted green, ha, me boys. Lukey's boat is painted green, the prettiest boat that you've ever seen, ah, me boys every light day.
This would be Portugal Cove.
Well, old Lukey's boat's got a fine forecuddy, ha, me boys. Lukey's boat's got a fine forecuddy, and every seam is chinked with putty, ah, me boys every light day. All together, ah, me boys every light day. Well, I says, Lukey, the blinds are down, ah, me boys. I says, Lukey, the blinds are down. Me wife is dead and she's underground, ah, me boys every light day. Ah, me boys every light day. Well, I says, Lukey, I don't care, ah, me boys. I says, Lukey, I don't care. I'll get me another in the spring of the year, ah, me boys every light day. Ah, me boys every light day. Out his grub, ah, me boys. Lukey's rolling out his grub, 1 split pea in a 10-pound tub, ah, me boys every light day. Ah, me boys every light day. Well, Lukey's boat's got high top sails, ah, me boys. Lukey's boat's got high top sails, she was planched with gummer nails, ah, me boys every light day. Ah, me boys every light day. Lukey's boat is painted green, ah, me boys. Lukey's boat is painted green, it's the prettiest boat that you've ever seen, ah, me boys every light day. All together, ah, me boys every light day. Ah, me boys every light day. One more. Ah, me boys every light day.
Welcome to Signal Hill. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to call this the most easterly point in all of Canada. Although I actually think that the most easterly point is Cape Spear, but since I'm not going to Cape Spear, I'll call this the most easterly point in Canada. Now, the trivia question for today is, if this is the most easterly point in Canada, or close to it, then what is the most westerly point in Canada? And you don't have to name the actual town. I don't expect you to do that, but if you can tell me just where it is geographically, that'll be close enough. Bonus points if you can name the town. So here we are just up above St. John's at Signal Hill, and the question is, where is the most westerly point in Canada? Okay, do you have an answer? The answer is Beaver Creek in the Yukon, where you cross over from the Yukon into Alaska. Now, a lot of people say the Queen Charlotte's or Vancouver Island, something like that, but no, it's actually in the Yukon, right at the Alaska border crossing. And here's a shot just as the sun is going down. It's about 8 o'clock, a little after 8, July the 17th, I think, St. John's, Signal Hill. Oh, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Another cold night in the tent. I'm dressed in double layers. Got this thing on, got a hat on to keep my head warm. I don't know what the temperature is, probably 7-8 degrees, but it feels colder than that. You can almost see your breath. I'm not equipped for this cold. Waking up every couple of hours, have to kind of just get right inside this bag and keep it tight to keep the heat in. So it's been a couple of cold nights. A lot colder than I thought it was going to be. So, not sleeping all that well. It's time to get up and pack up the tent and everything and make a move. Gonna head up towards Bonavista today. I don't know if it stays cold like this. I may have to start looking at a motel, although I've got a campground booked for tonight up near Lockton Provincial Park. I have to see. It's not much fun when it's this cold. If it's just, 4 or 5 degrees warmer. Just wasn't expecting these temperatures out here. But birds are singing. They start about 4 o'clock. I can put earplugs in for that. Oh, time to get going. Pack up. Get out of here. I think these are called lupins. They seem to be all around Newfoundland. They're very pretty. They're all along the highway, just like the fireweed does in the Yukon. I think they call them lupins. I could be wrong. But those lupins are in the town of Dildo, Newfoundland. I thought I'd come up and have a look at this little town. People have always joked about it for years. I thought, well, I've never been here, so I'm going to come and have a look at it. It's a very picturesque little town, fishing harbor. And I thought I'd like to have breakfast here, but that looks like the only place right there. It seems to be closed. That's right by the harbor. That would have been a beautiful spot to have breakfast. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I think it's the 18th of July. And it's still cold. It's sort of looking like rain, but I don't know. Maybe not. This is the harbor at Dildo. And it kind of heads right out that way there. Been on the road for about an hour and a half. Took me about a half hour to pack up this morning, get the tent all set and ready to go onto the bike. And I'm just cruising along, heading towards Bonavista today. That's the destination. Whether I camp tonight, I don't know. It was pretty cold last night. We'll have to see. I've got a camp spot booked, so I'll lose $25 if I don't camp. And I am at Smith's Lookout. Well, apparently there's some children in Amherst Cove. We're gonna go find out. Well, you weren't kidding, Vi. This is a pretty small place. I think I've got the right place. I just went past Upper Amherst Cove, and then I came to this spot, actually went by it, turned around, because there's only a sign on one side of the highway, St. Amherst Cove, and it said right here. So this must be Amherst Cove. It's right on the side of the road. I thought it might have been a little bit off the road. Now I don't know which house was yours. Do you remember that house? Or that one over there? Then there's a couple off the road right over there. But really, there's not a lot of houses here. This is a pretty small place. The bay is nice. Amherst Cove on Blackhead Bay. So this must be the cove. Looks like there's a bunch of seabirds way down there. Gulls and stuff like that. You probably recognize the rocks and the waves from growing up here. And then that's the big bay out there. And you know what's interesting about Amherst Cove? Well, this whole area in general. It's the middle of July, and I can still smell wood smoke everywhere. There's a lot of people burning wood, because it's actually kind of cool. It's about 12 degrees here, 13 degrees. It is not that warm for the middle of July. It seems a little bit unusual, but maybe not. Well, this was my accommodation, a B&B in Bonavista. I think it was $115 for the night, not bad, nice warm bed. Sure beat the tent last night because it was only about 5 degrees last night. It was cold, just cold riding home from dinner back to the place. So it isn't much more this morning. The high is going to be about 11 today. It's probably about 6 right now, 7. But I'm going to see some puffins in Elliston, and then I'm going to go over to Twillingate and then down to see Dave in Gander.
Please safe harbor, headed for the fishing grounds, unknown waters again. And you wave goodbye to the friends on shore, steaming with a northern wind. The waves they roll and the wind's picking up and the night is coming on fast. She turns her back to the island shore, to the highway she will blast. And it's she rises, the water rolls up of her deck. Oh, she rises, guided through the sea by her Captain Jack. Oh, she rises, she's headed straight into the wind. Oh, she rises, she goes back down, but she rises again. The winds are calm and the waters they glisten with the rising sun. The captain says all men on deck, there's a day's work to be done. We climb the rails and we hit the decks, we reach the fishing grounds at last. We've worked a day and hear the captain say there's a windstorm coming up fast. And it's she rises, the water rolls up her deck.
We have now seen the puffins, and they apparently stick around here till somewhere near the end of August, and then they head out to open sea. They don't really migrate all that much, they just kind of head out to the ocean and live out there. So there's quite a few of them here, but you can't get really close to them. They're smart. They stay on the little island, so they don't have any real natural predators other than the seagulls, who like to take the eggs, but other than that, they're pretty much on their own. So, time to hit the road. See if I can get to Twillingate. I gotta look at a map. Maybe a little bit too far. I have to have a look. So we are on a road trip today. This is Monday now, and we're heading out of Gander, staying with Dave. Hi, Dave. Dave Zeltzer and family, and one of the kids is with us today. Jane is here. Colin and Claire said, nope, not going on that trip. I want to stay home because they just came back from a 3-week trip through Europe, England, and Ireland, and France. So Jane's with us today, and we're going to where? Twillingate, which I was going to go to yesterday, but it was so cold that I came straight to Dave's in Gander. And today we're going to go see Twillingate. And that's about an hour and a half or so up the road from Gander. It's a fishing community. Dave's going to show me around. Jane's going to show me around. We're going to have lunch there and then come back. This is Twillingate Harbor. There's the fishing dock. Is this the first day of the cod fishery?
Second.
Second day. There's some cod.
Yeah, we were yesterday too. I think what we got yesterday were a tad bit bigger.
That's what,
Those are nice.
that's Dad, is it? Dad was saying the fish were bigger yesterday. Yeah.
Do you catch those jigging?
Yep.
What do you use for bait?
Nothing.
Just a hook? Just jig off the bottom.
Ask those guys.
There's some cod parts in the water.
There's the parts, yes. There's more down there, yeah. Is it busy?
Yes.
What's that? Is it crowded? Yeah, there is. A lot of boats in. How'd you do, Skipper?
Get your 5. That can add up a bit.
And then
5 fish a day for 2 weeks per
it
person.
opens up again in the fall. It almost covers the cost of your gas.
There you go. Are you guys going out?
This is Crow's Head, just up from Twillingate. There's a lighthouse here. And right out there is the Atlantic Ocean heading all the way over to England. France, where Jane just was.
I think, is that a little boat, maybe?
You mean out?
Right there. No, it's a big boat off to the right, but here to the left, I think. Some people will take part in the food fishery, maybe? Let's see.
Okay. Very rocky here. The trees can just barely hang on out here. Look at these little acorns on here. Wow. Needs a forest fire to open up. Look at the trails. You can walk down there. Walk down along those trails. Right down to the ocean level.
I'd like to do that.
That would be some pretty good hiking. And over there is the lighthouse. So Dave says this is the best fish and chips place in all of Twillingate, R&J Restaurant.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Good. I hope it's cod, though. Oh my God, it's some kind of snake from the deeps.
It's sequence.
Ah! There's its head. It's been cut off.
It's a sequence.
Ah! Here, wrap it around your neck. It's like a whip. It's like a whip.
Yeehaw!
Can I climb and videotape at the same time? Oh, this could.
Videos.
Yeah, I'm going the easy way.
Nah.
This is Monkey Jane.
Careful, Monkey Jane.
I'll be fine. I know I'm going up there. Fine.
That's as far as we can go. Woo!
Oh wow.
The ledge gets a little narrow. That's it. If we were climbing Everest, we'd have to stop right here. It's July in Newfoundland, and the wood smoke is coming out. But that's okay, because he's got some wood to burn.
Good.
So this is the beautiful house that's been rented in Woody Point, Newfoundland. This is one of those rentals by owners thing that you find on the internet. It's a gorgeous place. Some woman in Stratford apparently owns it, but it's all open concept, lots of wood, lots of natural light. 2 floors, loft upstairs, nice modern kitchen, slate floors, very beautiful. And it's up a big hill. Let me show you the hill, because I tried to get up that hill last night and it didn't go so well. There's a big hill. It's hard to see from here. Maybe I'll show you from the bedroom here. If you come through here and you look down there, yeah, there's the bikes up top, sitting out in the rain. And there's the hill you've got to make up, and it's got a big corner in it. And I got 3/4 of the way up, and the bike tipped over. Just couldn't quite get it all the way around the corner. It's loose gravel. And then I had to go back down. I took a second run at it, and the second time I got up, but a couple little minor scratches. But it's been pouring rain all night. It's expected to rain for most of the day. And my challenge today is I got to make it down to Port aux Basques, because I have a midnight ferry tonight to catch the ferry back over to Sydney. And I've got about a 4-hour ride in the rain, but it's supposed to let up a little bit, so we're waiting. It's 10 o'clock in the morning now. We're hoping that by later this afternoon it lightens up a little bit. Check out this place. Absolutely gorgeous. I think there's 3 bedrooms, 2 upstairs, 1 down here. Double sinks, beautiful marble stand-up shower. It's quite the place. So I'm here with Bill, Ruth, and Hannah, and we are hanging out here today because of the rain, so we're just holding tight. Well, I've made it to Port aux Basques, a straight 4-hour run from Gros Morne, and just had something to eat at a Tim Hortons. There's the boat I'll be on at midnight tonight. That'll take me across to Sydney, Nova Scotia. This is the top of Cape Smoky on the Cabot Trail, just on the south side of Ingonish.
I can't, I've got earplugs in.
No, I'm just talking to my camera.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, no problem. I'm going to pull into the Celtic Lodge. Have you ever been in there?
Yes, I have.
I'm going to pull in there and have a look. I stayed there 20 years ago. Just have a look around.
Straps over Chatham.
Yeah, so are you going to pull in, or are you going to go right on to Neil's?
So you just want to pull in and take a look?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay. That was probably about 20 years ago. I had a glass of wine here, I think. The Celtic Lodge. One of 3 or 4 that are being run by the provincial government. Still looks pretty nice inside. Okay, we're gonna go find some clam chowder soup at a place called Neil's Harbor, which is not far from here. Hey, 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 you. This is Shetty Camp, southbound now on the Cabot Trail, just down from Pleasant Camp. Gonna stop here at Wavo's Pizza and have a little pizza. Great little spot, very beautiful. Just ordered the pizza, and while it's being made, I thought I'd take a walk around the dock. There's a tour boat, probably whale watching or something like that out behind me there. And then the main harbor for Shetty Camp is that harbor just down a little ways behind me there. Gorgeous day. It's a little warmer here. It's now about 16, 15 degrees maybe. And that is warm compared to what it was in Newfoundland. Well, Friday night, and where am I? I'm in Bedeque, Nova Scotia, and I'm about to head into town to have a bite to eat and maybe a couple of drinks. Black flies are bad around here. This is the home site for tonight. Pulled in here a couple hours ago. I was pretty tired after being on that ferry overnight, so I came in here and set up camp at about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Had a little sleep for about an hour. And it was raining when I set up, but it seems okay now, although it's probably going to rain again a bit tonight. But that's fine, I'll be dry. It's warmer here anyway than Newfoundland, so heading into town, which is only about 5K, 4K down the road. And then from there, I'll get back here about 9 o'clock, 9:30, and have an early night tonight because I'm a little tired. This traveling's hard work. So riding the coastal route today on the eastern shore of Nova Scotia, down through Guysborough, down through that area, but so far today the roads have been really crappy. They're just broken up all the way along, a lot of frost heaves, it's pounding all the way, potholes, just awful. Got to catch this ferry, which I didn't know I had to do, but here it is. So I'm going to catch this ferry across the inlet here and probably go as far as Sheet Harbor, then maybe get off the coastal route. But then I may get better towards Halifax. I don't know, it's hard to tell. See ya. Well, today's now Sunday, and once again a cloudy day, but fairly warm, probably 15 degrees, something like that, at John and Lee Ayres place in Cole Harbour. Spent the night here last night, got in around 5:30 after riding from Bedeque, Nova Scotia. About 8 hours on the bike yesterday, fairly long day, but at least it was warmer and not a lot of rain yesterday. So it's 10:30 in the morning. I'm going to leave here now and head to Bob and Ann Stewart's over in Bedford and spend a couple of days in the Bedford area. They've got a bit of a party going on or something at the house this afternoon, so heading over there, and then a couple of days in Halifax before I head out. So I'm not going to be riding a lot for the next 48 hours or so. Time to head over to Bedford. Still under construction. Wow, they changed the entire look of it. It's going to be a fairly big house. Alexander Keith's Nova Scotia brewery tour. Bob's 14th time, my first.
By the way, my name is Andy McGregor, folks. Oh, please, follow me. And once you pass through it, you'll be leaving your time and entering into mine. 1863 Halifax.
We've just done the Keith's brewery tour, and we're down by the Halifax wharf area now. We're just going to take a little walk down the boardwalk. All of this area is new from when I lived here. All those condos back in there were not there then. Some kind of carnival about to set up here. But the Halifax boardwalk area has really developed quite a bit over the years. So there's a continuous walk now from here all the way down towards the Marriott and the casino in Nova Scotia. So it covers pretty much the whole waterfront in the downtown now. Done a great job down here. So back when I lived in Halifax, I covered a conference here called the G7, the group of 7 industrialized nations that get together every few years, and this is where they met, right in this building up here. It's called the Summit. There's the Sackville over there. That's an old frigate, destroyer, whatever, from the Second World War vintage, Corvette. And then there's a Time for Us, which is World War I vintage, sailboat going by. Actually, that's quite a nice little ship. And this wave over here, all the kids like to run up and down on it, see if they can run up the wave. It's okay when it's not slippery, but when it's slippery, look out. Acadia. This was here back in my day as well, along with the Sackville over there. And up here is Purdy's Wharf, where Robin used to work. Murphy's Wharf, I should say. Murphy's Wharf.
We were just in.
So the Murphys knew how much meat. Welcome to Quebec City this Wednesday afternoon, a beautiful, gorgeous day. Just going to take a walk around the downtown area. Must be noon, the church bells are all going off. Oh yeah, and there's, I think, is the Chateau Frontenac. Time to go grab a beer, maybe a little bit of lunch. Samuel de Champlain Monument. The boardwalk outside the Frontenac. And then the view over the St. Lawrence. don't know if you can see this, but I'm at a little restaurant just down the street from the Chateau Frontenac, one of the little alleyways in Quebec City, and I'm having some of the best sushi I ever had. This is the sushi boat for one. Hope it's not too dark, but you can kind of see it there. Some bubble tea, a strawberry bubble tea. Okay, so much for Quebec City. An hour and a half, 2 hours here. Time to mount up, head towards Montreal and Gatineau. Well, this could be the last video for this 2-week trip out to Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and then back through Ontario. The 2 weeks today, and today is a Thursday, and I'm heading home to Toronto today. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I spent the night last night in Gatineau after a almost 10-hour ride from Rivière-du-Loup in Quebec in through Quebec City on the north side of the St. Lawrence River along the Charlevoix area. Beautiful ride, but very hot. It was quite a challenging ride yesterday. Temperatures were up about 35, 36 degrees. It was record-setting heat in Ontario yesterday, and then the heat coming off the bike onto me on top of that, it must have been 38, 39 degrees. Very hot, very tough to ride in those conditions. Had to have a lot of suntan lotion on. I was basically in the sun for 10 hours. So I've gone in a week's time before to +3, +4 temperatures, riding at about 4 above zero to 37 above zero. So that's one hell of a change in just a week between Newfoundland and Ontario and Quebec. So I'm going to head home. I'm going to take the back road, I think, number 7. Got to get off the interstates a bit. I've been on the interstates for quite a bit. It's been a bit of a challenging trip, one of the tougher bike trips I've done just because of basically weather conditions. And it's going to be another hot one today. It's a little overcast now, but in a couple hours that'll all be sun again, and up to about 34 today, 32. So I should be home in about 6 hours, something like that. Like I say, just about, well, 9:30 now in the morning. And I'm about to hit the road out of Gatineau. Bikes run good. It's been a good trip. A little bit challenging at times, but time to go home.
Thank you.